Kenyans everywhere are crossing their fingers tight um, in aim or looking towards what EPRA is going to announce, or EPRA's announcement today. That is the fuel price reviews, considering the fact that previously or last month, we saw an increase in the fuel prices, of course, with diesel retailing at 205 shillings, seeing kerosene at 204 shillings, and petrol at 217 shillings. And that is among some of the issues that we're going to be discussing or asking questions about right here on Ask Siasa on Kenya News Alerts TV, of course, with me, Tamara Patience. So karibu sana, feel at home. The comment section is very much open. And I'm joined by Mr. Henry Nyamwea, whom we are going to have a short discussion with, of course, questions. And once again, on Ask Siasa, it's all about your opinion and your take on things. So yes, you might be right, you might be wrong. It's okay, as long as you have the facts right. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So anyway, moving on. So number one on the list, of course, we are seeing, if you now go to Twitter or X, Kenyans are seriously tweeting about what EPRA is going to announce today. And this comes at a time when, let me just bring in Moses Kuri in the picture. Moses Kuri just tweeted something stating that good news is coming soon, just before the price review by EPRA. According to your analysis, looking at maybe Moses Kuri's statement, looking at the prediction by the Energy and Petroleum, the Energy CS, are you seeing EPRA giving us good news or bad news? Also seeing that Tanzania have also reduced their fuel prices. Yeah.
I think this one, thank you, Samara, first for your question.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Your question is timely, and it's a very good question, actually, that most Kenyans are expecting to hear about EPRA. What will be the announcement? Exactly the announcement. Is it beneficial to Kenyans, or is what will recover for the politicians?
No.
Now, to me, I don't see I don't see any change, any big change that is going to happen, because they have already pushed Kenyans into somewhere where they cannot defend themselves. And remember, politicians are very intelligent, actually. The issue of fuel is not something easy as Kenyans are thinking. There was a procedure used to procure fuel.
No.
In other regimes, past regimes, and we changed it this time. Now the people procuring fuel are people from the government, within the government, and who are also, some of them are in EPRA. So what we are doing, we are not actually procuring we are not receiving or getting fuel from Israel as they claim to be. Our fuel, the fuel that comes here, it comes from Saudi Arabia. Actually, it comes from Saudi Arabia, and we are the ones who are procuring that fuel. We are the ones who are earning profit out of that fuel. I think that's what has made fuel rise without going round. Let us face the reality and tell Kenyans the reality. Let me say this, and it's good for us to know, tribalism is a disease than even corona. What is happening to our country? Our president is a tribalist, actually. Let me tell you, that's what has made every project fall into a ditch.
Would you?
Like now, I can give what Kenyans know, an evidence that Kenyans know. Like now, if you see the people who are in the energy sector, concerning fuel in the energy sector, David Girigiri is the CS Petroleum Energy. I'm not a dry priest when I'm giving this list. Joe Sang, MD Kenya Pipeline Company. Joseph Sirori, CEO Kenya Power. Daniel Kipto, Director IPRA. Now, I don't see why it becomes so impossible to the president to reduce fuel, because all the people who are elected, all the people who nominated into, who are CSS, CEOs concerning this department are people from his own backyard, which maybe can make him to get it easy for Kenyans for the fuel and everything.
But there's no like valid evidence that just because they come from the same region that they're actually the ones who are hiking the fuel prices, because initially you've given a different statement in regards to what could cause the hike in fuel prices, for example.
You are asking about there is no valid. There is valid evidence. Valid evidence, even the names themselves can express automatically where they come from. That's one of the evidence. I said I'm not a tribalist, but the reality is what makes it so impossible for the president to reduce fuel at all costs, because even the people who are within this sector are the people he knows very well. Yeah, the people he elected, he chose himself, and the people who some of them he has worked with. So what makes him so? What makes this process so difficult? We don't see any reasons. That's what my argument is based. So what I'm saying is that even what they are going to reduce, the margin they are going to reduce, let Kenyans not expect much. Yeah.
But at least a reduction is a reduction.
It is a reduction when we have been pushed so far. When we have been pushed, you know, it is more than 3 times. It has been raised 3 times from where it was, 4 times from where it was. Are you seeing this? And this is very critical. So what they are going to do now, I know very well. They are going to reduce one. Remember where fuel was and where it has gone up to. Do you expect them to reduce it back to where it was? No. That's the simple logic between this deduction. Already they have pushed it into where, from where it was into a higher cost. So what do you expect out of this deduction? It's just kitu kidogo tu hivi for Kenyans to know that fuel imepunguzwa kiasi. Unanielewa? But where was it by then? It has raised 4 times from where it was. So if they let them tell us whether they are going to reduce it to deduct from up to where it was, then Kenyans will be happy. For now, okay. Let me comment again about this fuel. Of course, if we reduce fuel, basic commodities will automatically come down. If we reduce fuel and reduce tax. But we cannot promise Kenyans to reduce fuel without reducing tax. We'll get the same problem. Still, we remain with the same problem. This is what even our former president Kibaki did. He realized 70% of Kenyans are under abject poverty. So what he did, he reduced the tax into 8% to enable each and every Kenyan down there to pay tax. But now, most Kenyans are evading tax. They are not paying tax, which is not helpful to our economy. Each and every person should be involved in paying tax. And in so doing, you have to reduce tax into the level that will enable Kenyans to pay tax. Yeah, that's my argument.
Okay. And okay, just your thoughts on, we previously had the NRGCS actually state number one that the government really doesn't have that much power to control how, or the fluctuations in fuel prices. That is number one. And number two, you mentioned something about possibility of fuel actually going to 300 shillings if the Israel war continues. Just a brief opinion on, probably, I assume you've done research and you've been following up on the Israel Palestinian war, of course, that has been happening. Is it anywhere linked to, or does it anywhere affect fuel prices worldwide? And if so, to what extent do you think it might actually affect either the increase or the reduction in
It
fuel
will
prices?
affect if only we procure or receive all fuel from Israel. Where we get fuel from is Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia is not involved in the war between in the war that is in the Middle East. Are you seeing this? I don't see any reason why we should be mentioning Israel. Israel is not mentioned, is not involved in our fuel procurement processes. Are you seeing this? So I think to me, this is not true. It's not true. By now, we are getting our fuel from Saudi Arabia, not Israel. Okay, what about other neighboring countries? Where do they get fuel from? Why are they not complaining? Why have they reduced? Why, Tanzania reduced fuel costs, and worldwide, not apart from Tanzania. And this is what actually has pushed Kenya also to do the same. This is what has pushed our leaders, our president, to do the same. Because what they are going around telling Kenyans is not beneficial to Kenyans. Yeah? What is important to any leader in any country, you must work seriously for your people. You must see, even in the family, be a role model to the Kenyan people. You can't leave Kenyans languishing in poverty and then you come out here claiming about Israel. What I'm seeing, tukiwa na vita ingine tena hata Uganda na Rwanda tena italeta hii issue ya fuel. Hatutoi mafuta ya Israeli. No. Direct from Saudi Arabia. The problem is those people will only keep on singing about cartels. Cartels are within the government. Are those people who are procuring fuel? They are the same who are becoming cartels. Wao ndio wana tax. Ile tax yote, ile profit yote, it ends up into their pockets. Where do you expect? How do you expect fuel to come down? Fuel cost to come down? It will not. So let us atusiweke Israel kama kisingizio. Hapana. Tunapata fuel direct from Saudi Arabia. Unless you've forgotten, my sister. Remember one time the president announced that we are now directly procuring fuel from other countries like Saudi Arabia. Do you remember that statement? So I have not seen anywhere, according to my research, I have not seen anywhere we are procuring fuel from Israel. No. Of course it produces, but does it mean other Nigerians in the produce? Why are we not mentioning Nigeria or Algeria or Libya? So let us stick straight to the point. The issue here is let us reduce fuel cost innocent like other countries without going round. And this is what is causing this country. This is what is bringing a lot of problems in this country. This is why the cost of living will never come down.
No.
Yeah, because fuel cost is high. Again, you see what is happening with it. Again, the Siasa Alice Waume yesterday announced CS for lands. He announced increment. Now we have search has been 500. It has gone up to 2,000.
No.
Certificate for incorporation has been 5,000. Now it is 50,000. Confirmation of disputes to 5,000. Are you seeing this? We are continually raising our tunaendelea kuongeza kila and I think you have not forgotten what happened recent in the Ministry of Migration.
No.
Everything is going up. So even if we reduce fuel, again, I don't see any big change that will happen because we are still continually raising everything. Double. You know, from 500 to 2,000 is not even double. Is 3 times as much? No. How?
500 to 2,000. That is, yeah,
We are
twice as much.
Yeah, we are increasing 80%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80%. So, and you can remember what happened with the IDs and the registration of what today any Kenyan who is going to before you get a birth certificate for your child, your kid. Remember the how do we call it? Ile ya kwanza unajaza ni 200 before you
The
come
notification.
to notification 200.
Yeah.
If you have not forgotten, when Kindiki announced about Moses Kuria, it was Moses Kuria and the passports. Was it passports and what? Something like that. I told you, wait, you will see changes happening. Some of them, hata uelewi zinapeleka Wakenya wapi. So what we are saying, let us be serious, working for the people you promised to bottom them up from where they were. You know, it's as if politicians we have, including the president, are not our own sons, are not the sons of this land, are not the sons of Kenya. They were. It's as if we borrowed from them from somewhere. You know, if they were one of from neighboring countries, then simply we can say they didn't know what is supposed to be done in our country. Before you become a president, you must know which can the problem of the people you are going to lead as the president. You must know the percentage of those ones who are rich, the percentage of those ones who are languishing down there under abject poverty. So the president cannot convince us that he never knew what's happening with our country. Yeah.
And of course, to our viewers, we are expecting a review of the fuel prices in Kenya. I don't know what's your take or what is your prediction on either the increment or the decrement of fuel prices in Kenya, and if it is actually reduced, do you think that it's going to bring change to the current economic state of Kenya? Will it lower the cost of living in Kenya? Because that is what most Kenyans, or that is what is the current agenda in Kenya. Now, moving on, still on matters development, unemployment is such a big deal in Kenya. It's something that is affecting most youth in Kenya. And during Uhuru's term or Uhuru's leadership, we had the Kazi Mtani, yes, introduced, which we saw different youths in different places, of course,
Towns, wherever,
yeah,
streets.
working and all that. And now the program was cut, and we saw Raila Odinga actually urging the government to reintroduce the Kazim Tani so that it can benefit the youth. And there's that side of things, and there's this other side where we had Moses Kuria state that NYS is actually the future of employment for the youth. Now, these two things, should the government think, in your opinion, of reintroducing Kazim Tani, or should it stick to NYS and try and probably find ways to ensure that youth actually.
So a very good initiative for our youth, because all we are crying for, or even Ruto himself, he has not forgotten what he promised Kenyans is about the youths we have. Some a great number, yeah, has no employment. You see, instead, it's as if he has forgotten them. Yeah, what we wanted, what I've always wanted to hear from the president is the creation of employment. The creation of employment vacancies or chances to the young youths, of which now some of them are languishing in poverty now. And again, you mentioned about national youths. It's not every sector that will pass through national youths. No, that is for this force, army, and the other forces. But what is happening in the other sectors? Yeah, we are talking here. The issue is employment at right. Employment at right. In all sectors. which is not happening actually. It's unfortunate that nothing is happening. Now, what again now Kenyans are timing is the lowering of the fuel costs, which will not benefit Kenyans because already it has been raised to the top. Even if they reduce a very small margin that will not help Kenyans. On the other hand, they are telling us that they want to reduce fuel. Remember, high cost of other things like certificates and whatever have gone up. So even if they reduce, what will Kenyans benefit? Because they have already raised everything. They have already increased everything. Any process. And especially, it's as if the president has forgotten that those people who are going under these processes are the young youths. Mzee kama mimi naenda kutafuta nini hapa? Ni vijana wanaoa, ni vijana wanachukua birth certificate notification, ni vijana wanataka kununua mabro, you see? So it's as if the president is targeting the youths he promised to bottom, the Asoras. Those are the people he is targeting. Does it mean he has forgotten? I don't understand, because even the advisors of the president, I don't know who are they, because I cannot mention them by their name, but I think they are sleeping on the job. Yeah, they are sleeping on the job. They have at least, they have a big role. They have something to advise the president. They need to advise the president actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, that is what we're talking about right here on Ask Siasa. We've touched on EPRA because all eyes are actually on EPRA right now, towards the announcement, of course, or towards the fuel price review. Also, the reintroduction of kazi mtaani. That reminded me of that phrase, kazi kwa vijana, pesa kwa wazee, when you know about
scrapped everything.
Yes.
Pesa kwa wase, no. Mama linda mama, no. Kazi mtaani, no. Instead, what we are experiencing is the rise of fuel, increasement of taxes and everything. You see, apart from taxes, there is a trick here. I don't know what I can call it, a scam or what. My sister, you are seeing everything is increasing. Tax has increased, and everything, any sector, any process you go, any process you want to follow, you must incur some expenses, which is already double than it was. Are you seeing this? So Kenyans are surrounded with problems. If you turn the other side, unakuta notification peke yake ni kitu fulani. You lose if your IT gets lost, then unalipa siri 2000 pop. Ukitaka kwenda kufanya transaction nyingine ni pesa, eh? What do you think the reduction of this fuel will help? Because already they have increased everything. Are you getting my system? They have already increased everything. So that's why I'm saying, are we really having something heightened against Kenyans that Kenyans don't know? Because we are seriously not working for Kenyans. It's as if we are benefiting ourselves or benefiting another country instead of Kenyans. I don't understand. Because what we are seeing, everything is increasing, tax, fuel. Already remember, Kenyans remember, fuel, as from where it was, it has risen how many times? 4 times, up to where it is now. Are they going to reduce it back to where it was? Or nini?
And I think with that question is a question that we're also asking Kenyans, and Kenyans are eagerly waiting to see if it's going to be reduced to the original price that it was, or probably if it's going to be increased. We never know. But I think in future they should. You see the way the president does at 2:30 the president is going to speak. I think EPRA should also do the same thing, because right now everyone is it going to rise, is it going to fall? But let's wait and see if the good news that Moses Kuyo was talking about that is coming soon is actually in regards to matters fuel or probably matters cost of living in Kenya. Now, as we wind up, we move to the Mount Kenya region, you know. And the Mount Kenya region is something we've spoken about quite a lot because it has been making headlines quite a lot, you know.
That is the center of politics.
Yes, yes. Now, we actually saw Mine and Jenga during an interview with one of the local papers talking about Mount Kenya region being actually neglected in terms of development. And he claimed that the Mount Kenya region is actually not receiving its rightful share of development from the Kenya Kwanza government. You know, I mean, first of all, from just that statement, what do you make out of that statement, considering the fact that we know the deputy president comes from that region? We know the former president comes from that region. We know some of the statements that we have had the deputy president speak about when it comes to shareholders in the country, Kenya. And now my Nigeria coming out and stating that they're actually not receiving the rightful development. Yeah, in the region.
Tomorrow, Mount Kenya is the region that our founding father of the nation is from.
Mhm.
The
Third president of Kenya.
also comes from there. The fourth president also from that region. Do you know what is happening in Mount Kenya?
Mhm.
We thought that they are the ones who are in the shareholder company.
No.
They are also involved. Obviously, according to what the statements out of the deputy president, it's obvious that Mount Kenya is one of the shareholders.
Mm-hmm.
They voted overwhelmingly for President Ruto.
Yeah.
And why are they left out? Why have they forgotten them? Let me tell you an answer that most people don't expect, never expect. Do you know all those projects all initiated within Mount Kenya and left incomplete? They have been neglected. Are you getting this?
Mm-hmm.
They are no wrong. They have been left where who left them is where they are up to now. Nothing has happened. So everything is stagnant there. Let me tell you, if you cannot spearhead, those are the government projects under government policy already written in the government, whatever. Yeah? Is in the 32. Mm-hmm. So all those projects are stagnant. Any project all started, it was left immediately as the leaders were announced into office. Into office, yes. Now, what Kenyans are asking outside here is that the deputy president mentioned about shareholders. Who are these shareholders, Gachagua? If Mount Kenya is not involved, if all the projects you initiated are stagnant, you left them. You don't. You know they were for beneficial. They were of benefit to the people, to the region. But if they are stagnant, how do you think Mount Kenya can continue developing? That's another question. You answer us. Then, from the look of things, the first impeachment also comes from Mount Kenya. It seems that politics has been tough in Mount Kenya since Ruto took over. Because the expectations, the thoughts, what people expected out of this leadership is completely irrelevant. It is completely the opposite of what people expected. Nothing is happening on the ground. Mm-hmm. You saw the other time Gachagua going Cuba to British Columbia. Mm-hmm. Just to look for coffee market. He talked this openly to the people of Mount Kenya. Do you remember what he said when he came back? He said that it is impossible. My people, it is impossible. There are cartels who are in this government I have never gone wrong to my statement. That's what he said. Who are within this government? Who are these cartels? And why do you allow them? Eh? Why do you allow them? Because if there are cartels ambao wanahujumu development within the government, within the regions, like the region of Mount Kenya, then these cartels, you should come out openly and tell us what are these cartels. You can't be telling Kenyans that the cartels. We don't know. With us, we don't know cartels. Tell us what are these cartels. So what I'm trying to tell you, my sister, is all the projects that Uhuru started, all the projects that Uhuru initiated in Mount Kenya, they are all stagnant. They were left. They did not up to date. They are stagnant. Otherwise, some of them have been rotten. They are no longer there. Okay. Number 2. That's why you are seeing politics imesika moto within Mount Kenya region. Why? The expectations of the people. What the people were promised is not there. Gachagua has been publicly announcing that all those who are involved, who are in the what? In the company,
shareholders when you're
who are within the mandate of who are when you wako kwa kampuni, they will benefit and live around. Sindio? But instead, it is opposite of what is on the ground. People are crying. There's no development one. Let us not judge the people outside here. Let me tell you, I've taken time to talk about this issue of Mount Kenya. Know that I've done research and I know. You know, Mount Kenya, Africa, is one of the best continent in natural resources. And in Kenya, let me tell you, Mount Kenya itself italisa Wakenya wote paka Turukana paka hata Kisii mahali chakula inalimwa. Mount Kenya. But what has happened to them is that what they used to rely on, coffee, tea, pyrethrum, let us stick to the real issues facing people of Mount Kenya. These vitu zimeharibiwa tamana. They are no longer there. It's empty promises like the promises of Gachagua and whoever. But another question I'm leaving it to you. Who between Gachagua and Ruto is wise? It seems that one of them knows better than the other. It seems that one of them is using or misusing the other.
And guys, I think with that statement, that is how you're going to end it on a Siasa. You've left people with a question mark. So thank you so much for participating in our discussion today on Ask Siasa. Of course, we've asked several questions. We've had different discussions. One touching on fuel, of course, kazi mtani or kazi kwa vijana. And also the issue of Mount Kenya. What is ailing Mount Kenya? That is a question that we're also leaving you guys with. But depending on whatever time you have watched this or joined us, thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And see you in the next Ask Siasa. Remember, it's all about your opinion.